Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Nosurge reaction. Like I said in my last Nosurge video, this is the Renshin set of songs. These two are going to take a while to get to. This is going to be a very long video, as you could probably tell already. Either way, I'm going to be getting to this one, which is em-pyei-n. That'll be the first one I'll be listening to, and I was told that this is kind of like a loose recap of Nosurge, so I'll probably figure that out in the lyrics, but apparently the lyrics are more like figurative than they are literal and more poetic, I suppose. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know if that applies to this one or just the second one, which is fii-ne, which apparently plays after chapter 1 of Nosurge. There's going to be a lot of lore in this video that I'm going to be exposed to, which is kind of why I wanted to save it for after the last one, so I could be confused, because this might answer some of that. I don't know though, maybe that's completely unrelated, but either way, I need to get started on these. We are going to be here all night. So I suppose without further ado, let's go! Woo! I got that note. Squeaking that out. I'm probably going to be fairly quiet for a lot of this, just because I am going to be reading the stuff as it appears. Ooh, okay. Is that a different vocalist? That might be the same vocalist. It's like an entire shift of their timbre though, like their quality is different. It's really weird hearing like the pseudo-Slavic. You can definitely tell where the inspiration for the language comes from here. That's a lot of reading. Hold on. God, this part fucks though. It's a fantastic emotional build. Yeah, the vocalists, I can't really get over how smooth their voice is. It's gorgeous. And this has to be one of the most, like, normal songs I've heard from this OST. It's definitely the most like harmonically standard songs that I've heard from Nosurge so far. More sounds like something that would belong in a movie, you know? It does have that cinematic vibe to the composition. The scariest part is not knowing how close we are to the end. Like, we might have another verse in here for all I know. This feels very final though. Okay, yeah. That fades away. All right. Again. Damn, that sounded so cinematic compared to what I've heard from the game already. So I need to make a quick correction because I'm sure somebody already wrote a comment about it or is currently writing one. I did not realize this was actually Russian. And I think it's mostly because I anticipate songs that come from places in Asia to not really have the best Russian, but also I don't speak Russian, even a fucking lick of it. So it's like, how would I judge that? But apparently the vocalist is Russian, so of course they would be singing it presumably correctly. God, I would hope so. I just didn't realize because it sounded kind of like... I know that they have like constructed languages in games like this, so I kind of just assumed it was Slavic-based language and not an actual Slavic language like Russian specifically. So I'm sorry that I got that fucked up, but that's what learning's about, right? I wouldn't have known. I've also never seen phonetic Russian like written out like that. I've only ever seen it written in the language, you know? Like I've never seen a phonetic version of Russian ever. And seeing that up there made me think that it was a conlang. So I'm sorry, I kind of screwed that up there. It was just a bunch of assumptions heading in the wrong direction with the right assumption, I suppose, or maybe the opposite of that. Either way, gorgeous song, so beautiful. Loved the vocalist performance. In looking up who sang it, I also found out that she is no longer with us, and that is a fucking bummer, because what a beautiful voice, gorgeous control, brilliant dynamics all the way around. You could really feel the emotion in every single step of this song. And again, it's like the most melodically normal, harmonically simple song I've heard from this game and this series in general, I think, so far. And it's usually because they like to play around with the sandbox of what music is, and again, put things in that the language and the people in the world that they're making, and not just sticking to what we know. So it's just this kind of interesting approach to have this sound, but also what a way to introduce the next title, like the next game, kind of doing a recap and having this different sound be the basis of that and being what's bringing you through that experience. Because of course I know that this is like a series and this would be a sequel to something else. So it's kind of like, okay, well, here's a recap and just like a short overview of what to expect musically, but also a soft enough variant of that would feel a little bit more welcoming to new players, I would say. This is something more familiar, even if it is in that world of things like conlangs that would be adding to the soundtrack and making it a completely different voice by the end of it all. It's nice to start somewhere more familiar and somewhere more simple before getting into the real weeds of the compositional approach of how they handle songs in this series. So again, fantastic. It just sounded gorgeous, but it was also so well controlled that it kind of caught me off guard because I'm so used to hearing those other sounds and those other types of musical influence. So this was really weird. I know the next song is probably going to be more of what I would expect, and that's purely because I saw the thumbnail for it having some of the conlang stuff in there. So I'm assuming it's going to be very much more of that, but I need to listen to it to know. So let's get to that, shall we? Again, though, already more complex. This is more what I expect. He's like held over chords and note combos. Lyrics by the same person and dottedline hiroko. Okay. See, that's the Russian I know. I wouldn't have even second guessed it if I saw that in the other video. God, her voice. Her vibrato is like surreal. It's so clean. They really like to do like vocal rounds a lot in this series, having the layers of different people singing different things. Really nice panning in this too, by the way. Like, you hear most of the drums in this ear, and then like the strings in this ear. But here it's a little bit more balanced out. Yeah, like the guitars are more prominent in the left ear. It's like the identity from this one is so unique from the other one. I can't get over that, like how different they are. Despite having the same vocalist and the same language for the bulk of it. It's like I can see the sweeping camera angles like flying over a landscape in this. It's so fucking cool. Like, what a great song to end a chapter with or start the next one with. What an insane energy to come in or go out with. See, compared to the first one, this one sounded a lot more like a battle triumphant sort of song. The other one felt like equally cinematic. These both had a very heavy cinematic quality to them, but the other one felt a lot more like a title card or a title sequence, and this one felt so much more like the like the beginning of the journey. And that's really what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, that it's chapter one, like there you go. You got to experience a a chunk of it, and now like here is all of that sound. Here is what you should come to expect out of the game. Now that you've been dumped into this world, you had that soft opening that sounded familiar and in ways definitely had similarities to this, but was not the same thing. And then now you get this. This is what the world is going to sound like from here on out. It just drops you right in there. And that's fantastic. Oh man. It's so cool getting these like layered vocals too. I've talked about this in every single video I've made on this series. I love the round vocals in here, the layering of the vocals, having somebody sing something else while there's a lead singer doing a completely different thing. And just, you know, making that part of the experience, making that relationship with the vocals and the story, this layered depth that you don't really get from most songs. You have to do that on purpose. And for doing world building and making sure that this place feels lived in, like these songs would be something that you would be singing with other people at gatherings or like on the way back from war or to war. And it has such a specific identity to it that I can't get over. And that's definitely got to be why this world and this universe has withstood the test of time, because things like this makes such a big difference, and nobody really thinks about how much of a difference music can be to the world. I mean, that's mostly what I talk about on this channel. Every single game I get to has a different identity, it has a different story, because there's a different world that it belongs in, and their job as composers is to make sure that you as the player or you as the viewer understand and feel that you can understand the relationship that you have with the people in this world and their culture and their influences, and all of that is so unique to every single property, even in places like Genshin Impact that have a bunch of different areas and a bunch of different cultural, like culture hubs basically, and every place has such a unique sound to it that you can individually pick out just by hearing one song from each one where it's coming from. This game sounds like this game. This world is this world. You could send me a song of this, no title, with any other song from any other game that I have heard a soundtrack from and am familiar with the world, and I would be able to tell you the difference because it is so unique to itself, and they do that so fantastically well. And it's more of the like rarity for a song to be this unique, to be this different, to tell you this much about the world and the culture that you're about to experience or that you've already been with for potentially multiple games up to this point, versus like another game that would have maybe just one or two different sounds. You know, it might be super unique, but it's like, okay, well, you're in one city, you know, and there's not enough variety in that. Whereas like this, you can feel the generations of sound in this, the generations of artistic influence on every single corner. Every cobblestone in the path has somebody who carved it out by hand to place it there. And it's that level of depth that I absolutely adore in all of lore, in gaming, in movies, film, etc. It needs to have that level of depth for me to keep interest in it. And this for fucking sure has it. And songs like this and the relationship of these two is really what cements that as like, this is a world. This isn't just a game. It's not just a property. This isn't just to sell copies. This is a labor of love and intense depth in world building that somebody slaved for potentially years over in order just to get the core concept down there and out for other people to experience. It's similar to like when a DM for Dungeons and Dragons has crafted their like masterpiece of world, their magnum opus creation, their story, and you're experiencing it and you're just like, holy shit, this is what they've been working towards their whole life. This is the story they've been meaning to tell, and you can just feel that passion in it. And that's what I'm getting for this one. I know it's not really like a musical breakdown as per usual with these songs. I've talked so much about their musical composition and the awareness of that in other Nosurge and CL videos before, that if you want to hear about that, go back more to like the earlier ones I've done for this. This is just me getting to hear more from this world and continuously being shocked at how much depth there is. Every single time I hear a new one, I can add like a new layer onto the cake of how beautiful and delicious this world building is, and that's just insane to me. So fantastic request here as for always from Renshin. If you have any other songs you want me to get to from this series or anything else, drop them in the comments below and I will do my best always to get to those, albeit I do have 2 people at least who have been requesting these on a regular basis now, so we're probably going to be getting these pretty regularly, like maybe once a month, twice a month. So if you got something specific, drop in the comments and maybe they'll force me to listen to it. Or if you want to force me to listen to something yourself, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships where there's a tier that you can do that. It just forces me to listen to whatever you want. Doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. If you don't want to do any of that though, maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!